carpets and mop your floors. Your house can be totally 100% chemical free. Get rid of the Windex, get rid of the Clorox, get rid of everything, because this one machine will save you so much money. But marketing, thank you so much, Donna. That's a great idea. Cold calling isn't always really the best. Really, I prefer referrals. So now you all know a little bit about me, and I would appreciate even share the water with you. You develop your own story first, even if it's not for 7 days. All right, the COVID now, we're kind of getting out a little bit more. I have a mask and I got gloves. I'll come to you, all right? And or you can come to me. Or we'll meet halfway, maybe up there at Sam's parking lot if you want to.
Miss J, what do you think about doing like an educational series or something?
I love it. Y'all get me started, and I don't know when to hush. Because I love my
Well, because you hit a lot of different points. There's a lot of people who really want to get the toxins out of the house. There's a lot of people who want to improve their health. There's, so you hit a lot of different points, and you could almost do like a 3-part series, or, however many parts, and, just invite people. It could be virtual. It could be.
That's great. And in fact, even in my Zoom, I'd love to do a Zoom drop the drops. Let me show you that one bag of tea, you can make 3 pitchers of tea with one bag using alkaline water. It gets down to the molecular area, and it actually helps to release some of those beans that never gets released. Because it's actually, it explodes it, it demagnifies it. So just think, one tea bag, one food line tea bag, you can produce 3 different pitchers, three pitchers of tea, no boiling. You don't have to boil with this water, it's at room temperature. In fact, you can take it out of the refrigerator, water out of the refrigerator, and put your tea in it, and it will make tea. It's amazing.
Miss J, the reason I said no to I would not be interested is because I wanted to play the devil's advocate, and I wanted to challenge you, and I want you to come back in 60 seconds and tell me exactly why. Because at first, not having a history with hearing a presentation from you before, I didn't know that it was a system. So the average person may think it's voodoo or something.
True. Now this is a system. It's got the size of a coffee pot. It produces 5 different types of water, and you plug it in and you hook it to your kitchen faucet and or bathroom, whichever one is more convenient for you. We recommend the kitchen sink. We also have an under counter unit. And we also have what you call a Nespa. The Nespa hooks to your bathroom, your tub, and or your shower. And it produces like a mineral spring. You can have like a mineral spring in your own bathroom on a daily basis or on a weekly, how often you take your bath. And it is just amazing. It's just amazing. I can't share it. I can't emphasize enough how much quality, how much value are in these ionizers. They range anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000. I don't recommend the top one unless you are in a mechanic shop, a restaurant, if you're in a small clinic like a chiropractor, or a dentist, or something of that profession. But most people average around the SD501s, either the platinum or the black and white, and our brand new K8. There is a difference there. The K8 is a global machine. You can go anywhere in the world, plug it in, and it works beautifully. However, with any of our other machines, they are just standard 120 voltage. And so you would need an extra generator if you want to travel with that to go overseas. Otherwise, they're beautiful machines.
And in the videos, you see people being healed like of bed sores?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In fact, you can go to YouTube. In fact, go to YouTube and type in Kangen water and diabetes. There's one on there, a Japanese person that actually takes you through where people, be it seniors, bed sores, are being healed with alkaline water. And they are using the 2.5 to kill the germs around the sores. Then they come back with 11.5 to help with the healing. It's just amazing. You got an ingrown toenail, you know, hey, see me. If you come up with anything and you're kind of curious about it, you have any questions, call Miss J of Fuquay. She'd be glad to answer any questions.
And
Miss
with
J, what is the difference?
you could probably use it with canines if you had, you
Oh
know.
my
she said-
goodness, yes ma'am. In fact, Luke, I know you all, if you have followed me on Facebook, Luke, my kitty, he's only 3 years old. They thought he had a urinary infection. Come to find out, bless his heart, he had 4 stones. Well, those stones they thought were bladder stones. I got the word Monday, they were not bladder stones. They're actually born from his mother. That it is hereditary from the mother cat to him, and that actually comes from the urinary tract, and actually can, if not on proper diet, can cause stones, and that's exactly what happened to him. And so it's actually being formed from the liver. And so drinking the Kangen water is helping to keep that at bay as well. I did have to change his diet from dry food to wet food, and I am having to give him the urinary, which I can get at Tractor Supply. It's not that expensive. But anyway, pets love it. Their coat is pretty. They will go, including horses, any cattle and all. They prefer the alkaline water versus your regular source water.
Miss J, what's the difference between that system and going into like Whole Foods where they have, I know reverse osmosis is different, but they have the other one too, which is a pH balanced water.
Do y'all know about reverse osmosis? Thank you, Linda. I mean, thank you, Kalua.
Well, no, not that, because Whole Foods has reverse osmosis, but they also have the pH balanced.
They have the pH balance, they have bottled water, and yes, you're gonna, if you have pH drops, the drops are better than the strips. The strips has a tendency to dry out. The drops is in a sealed a container that you can use each time, and I can share with you how to get those if you're interested in that. Your 9.5, remember, it's in a plastic container, first of all. Number 2, it's also produced probably from a well source. It could be coming from a municipal source. It is bottled water. The bottle may say BPA free. And Whole Foods also has where you can get fresh alkaline water.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, where you refill.
That fresh alkaline water is not electrolyzed like Kangen water is. It is it's being pumped through a machine, and it's a pumping feature. It's not the water is being pumped like a pump like a fish tank pump or a fountain pump, but it's not your true going through. It's not going through your 7 plates of platinum dipped in titanium.
No, I just was wondering when we can do this post.
So it is a different. It is alkaline. I'm not saying it's not alkaline, but it's a different process to get it to be alkaline. It's not the same. And in fact, you can taste the difference.
So that might be something too to explain to people that it is different than going and refilling your bottles at Whole Foods or wherever.
That's right. Yes, ma'am. That's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Whole Foods is, I'm not saying it's not 9.5. It is 9.5. It's a different 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
I still think this boils down to your 60 seconds. I think you've got to grab, think about it. If you go into the chiropractor's office and you have someone with their cup, you need to think, what can I say to them to make them think twice about what they're doing? So how would it go something like this, just off the cuff? Has anyone told, this is you talking, has anyone told you that your water might not be safe? I have a system that you can put into your home that can has health benefits for you and your pets. You can have no chemicals to clean with, all these topics in 60 seconds.
Okay, Krista, can you put that down in writing and send it to me?
I will.
I don't do shorthand. If I did, I couldn't read. I can't hardly read it. Shorthand.
Does that
That's
make
great. That's great. Excellent. Thank you, youngin.
And
Well,
this is coming from someone who's just learned about it just now. So that's why I can say all this. I'm not a pro at it, but I know what I need to hear.
Okay, Christy, have you learned anything today?
I have, and I'm excited about what I've learned.
Are you interested in trying the water so you can share it with others?
I am.
Fantastic. Okay, youngin, you put your you make sure you got your information on the chat.
Miss
Okay.
Kay,
Yes, ma'am.
she lives really far from you.
Yeah, I do.
Where you live, youngin?
I'm in Alamance County. That you'd have to mail it to me.
Well, that would cost a fortune in shipping.
Well, don't give me no county. Give me a town.
Burlington.
Burlington.
Burlington's not that far. It ain't about like 45 minutes.
No, it's more like an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, I tell you what, Burlington and Fuquay, we probably can meet
Halfway.
55, 54 up there somewhere. How's that sound?
You have to make it when you're headed this way, Christy, so it makes sense for you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll work something out, Christy. We will, honey.
Miss J, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You went over this, but you said the numbers so quickly that I didn't. I'm like you. I don't write shorthand. So when you were talking about the triangle
Mhm.
with the numbers in there,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
numbers do we look out for?
Okay, the triangle, I'll say 90% of the triangle is going to have a 1. That 1 is not safe. That 1 can cause leaching, possibility to cause leaching. So can a 3, 6, and 7. Your 6 and 7s are going to be on your foams that your meat is on. When you go to the grocery store, you may buy bacon, you may buy hamburger meat, you may buy pork chops. They're usually on a foam platter. Those foam platters are 6 and 7s. They're a little bit stronger than a 1. However, that's why they tell you to take that off. Don't store it in those because it can also cause a poisonous effect.
Right. So then I was going to ask. I'm sorry.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
okay. And then your 2, 4, and 5s inside that triangle are the best quality of plastic that you can buy. The
Okay.
2, 4, and 5 are your BPA-free quality products. And you're going to be surprised. When I first learned this, honey, I was picking up and looking at the bottom of everything. I don't care where I was, if I was in a restaurant, if I was in I pick up their salt shakers. I mean, they're plastic ketchup bottles. And I look on the bottom to see what quality it was. Most of the ketchups are 2s. And so, but when you go to the grocery store, you go Dollar Tree, wherever you go that sells food or beverages, including sheets, it's okay to pick those containers up and look at the bottom, because that way you're going to get questioned. You're going to say,
Right.
ma'am, why are you doing that for? I see you walking down this alley and you're looking at the bottom of all these containers. What are you doing? And so what Miss J said, and I want to make sure I get the right one.
So that's what I was going to ask. My second question is, not only do we have to be concerned with the water quality, but then we have to be concerned with the container.
Yes, ma'am.
And that could be containers that we have at home, like the plastic ones, whatever. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, thank you. Who was it? Somebody had a stainless steel they showed a while ago. Stainless steel and glass. Glass is always the best thing in the world to drink water out of. But
Okay.
glass gets heavy. Glass gets heavy, y'all. So stainless steel but there again, there are different qualities of stainless steel. So you want a good quality stainless steel bottle. Which one do you get? I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't focused in on that yet.
I just thought of a conversation starter. So we all know about the water in Wilmington that was contaminated through a chemical by a manufacturer or something.
Right.
That would be a great conversation starter. Hey, I'm sure that you've heard about the water problem in Wilmington. Have you ever thought about your water?
Exactly. Good point. Flint, Michigan is one.
Yeah.
Up here in Raleigh, there's been lots and lots of times they're saying that the water, it's not the water, but it was the water. How many of you remember back a few years ago, babies were dying down in Fayetteville at the Army base or the services because of, they kept saying that it was asbestos, or it was something in the paint, or it was something in the floor, it was everything else but water. It took a few years, but the researchers and developments finally figured out it was the water quality that was killing those babies. Alkaline water could have saved those babies. Not that it would save all of them, but it could have a good potential to save those babies. And another thing is our brain, Alzheimer's, and any brain issues, autistic children, traumas to the head, to the body, that stress. There's a whole lot of stress. Alkaline water can help seduce that. It can help decrease that. And alkaline water, once our brain is hydrated properly, you need to drink 1/2 minimum body ounces of weight that you weigh. If you weigh 200 pounds, you need to drink a minimum daily of 100 ounces of water, just to keep a minimum, an even level of hydration in your body.
Miss
That's
J,
what's causing diseases.
Miss J, if you remember, there was a point in time too where a lot of athletes were falling over and having heart attacks and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dehydration. Gatorade is the worst thing to give.
Garbage.
It is. It's nasty. It's just not good for the system. It's a sugar, okay? It may say no sugar. It may say 0 sugar, 0 calories. You be careful with that. There's some kind of form of sugar in there. Aspartame, they know already, causes cancer. How much aspartame is in that Gatorade? Now, another thing, if you were to drink a Coca-Cola and or a Pepsi, you'd have to drink 28 glasses of alkaline water just to come out at 7.0, a neutral. It's the American, we call it the Standard American Diet. SAD, Standard American Diet. What does that spell? Sad. It is sad. In the pyramid, there are 5 things, or really 3 things, 3 very important things. Nutrition, our diet, exercise, and hydration, which is water. We can live without food, and we don't have to exercise. We cannot live without water.
And also that pet point makes a really good point, because cats are known to have issues with infections with kidneys and all that. And so, getting into the animal world would be great.
Yes, ma'am, it really would, and I've been trying, but perhaps you all can help me get into these worlds. Help me touch.
You should have a one-on-one with Kelly, number 1, because she does energy healing for cats. And I will give a shout out to her that she did some energy healing on a friend of mine's dog and had some success.
Excellent. That'd be wonderful. Yeah, I would love to.
Miss J, that brings up a point
also.
too. Yeah, married too. Yeah, people will spend more money on their pets and their children than they will on themselves.
That's right.
That's true. It's very, very true. Yes, ma'am. We tend to put ourselves on the back burner when it comes to our pets and even the children and the husband and all. How we feeling, we're on the back burner until we get to where we really got to do something. And so, but just consider changing your water to change your life. And in fact, I want you to do me a little experiment. Okay, the water that you're drinking now, whether it's in the kitchen or if you might buy the water, I want you to start physically and mentally paying attention to the different tastes of water. Whether you get bottled water from the grocery store or whether you get it from the Dollar Tree, the different types of water that you get, whether it's a Food Line brand, Harris Teeter brand, Kroger brand, whatever the brand of water is, make a mental picture and physically taste that water. See if it tastes different than what you drink at home out of the spigot or out of the faucet.
It
I
definitely
won't drink
does.
filter water. I won't drink my water out of my faucet. It caused my problems with my liver and everything. My dog is drinking rainwater because the water here is giving him such problems with his skin, so he's drinking rainwater.
And that's no, I'm glad you brought that up, Tammy. Rainwater is acidic. Have you ever tested rainwater? I thought a few years ago I was up at Belts and they had about a downpour of rain, and I just happened to have some of my water drops with me. And so I said, let me test this rainwater. Well, probably back in the day, rainwater may have been 7.0. But now we've got the ozone that comes through. We've got the atmosphere that comes through. You got the smokestacks that it comes through. By the time it gets down here to Earth, it's really acidic. And animals do prefer a little bit more acidic because of their system's a little bit different than humans, of course. But now, so with Luke and with Jake now, I give them 7.0 with a touch of beauty water in it, because I know their systems can't tolerate a very strong alkaline environment of the water. So, you know, and animals are a little bit different, but they do prefer the little bit more acidic.
He's doing better because we have hard water here in Zebulon because our water's coming from Raleigh and their water is so hard, it's not even funny.
And that's another thing, municipal water. Have you ever, those of you who have town water, have you ever noticed once a month when they put those chemicals in it, is there a certain smell? And it takes three or 4 or 5, 10 days for it to settle back down. Have you ever tasted when they first put the chemicals in versus near the end before they put the chemicals in again? Have you ever tasted those two differences? That's important. Municipal water is governed by FDA. It's FDA mandatory to put in chemicals in your municipal to keep the pipes in the ground from oxidizing. Not our pipes, not our esophagus, not our system, but it's to keep the pipes in the ground from oxidizing. There's iron pipes that's been in that ground over 200 years. By putting the chemicals in there, they're helping to unclog the drains, you might say, unclog the pipes to keep them from erosions, okay? But they don't care about us. It's not until we hit our 40s, 50s, and 60s, sometimes 70s, before we start seeing an onset of problems. But nowadays, children are witnessing some chemical imbalances. Babies are. Our children are experiencing cancer. Reckon where that's coming from. It didn't used to be. Why now?
Yeah, I grew up on well water my whole life, and my husband didn't. We have well water now. He can't stand municipal water when he has gotten used to our 20 years of well water.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. And well water is hard. I have hard water here too. Now my ionizer, I had to put an extra filter in so that my SD501 would work properly because of the well water. The well water don't just, I mean, it's got everything in it. It's got your minerals, your good and your bad minerals. It has phosphorus and iron and magnesium and manganese, calcium. It's got everything, all the minerals in it. And so all those combined, hard water has a potential to cause more calcite and manganese than soft water does. So with that in mind, I noticed when I first got my ionizer, 13 years ago that it wasn't holding. You know, it would produce 8.5 or 9.5, and then within 3 seconds it'd be gone. And so I used to network with Gene Smellick, who is the owner and operator of Connecticut Full House Treatments and also Full House Filtrations. And he came out and he actually did some research on my well source. And then he also he went through the videos and he saw what the machine was capable of doing. And he actually came up, it looks like a scuba diver tank. That's what I call it. And he got it under the sink, and it's calcite. And so the well was producing more manganese than it was calcium. And that was what was pulling my machine down as far as the levels were concerned. So now it's working beautifully. It's producing each one of the levels it's supposed to produce. 8.5 is blue, 9.0 is violet, 9.5 is purple. 7.0 is green. Beauty water is a slight yellow. Your strong alkaline water, 11.5, is actually a deep, deep purple, whereas your 2.5 is a very bright orange and or bright yellow. So on a scale of 2 to 14, or 0 to 14, you can look at, you may have seen, there's like a rainbow of colors. You have your yellow, your orange, or red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, then you're gonna have violet, then you have purple. All of those colors represent a number. Those numbers represent the quality of water you're drinking.
And Miss J, I'm sure you know this, but well water can change. So
Yes,
I had my well water tested some time ago, many years ago, and it had a greater hardness. We had it tested about 2 years ago, and it was as close to not being hard as, it wasn't hard, and everything was just within range. So it can change, and that's another argument when you talk to clients when they say they've had their water tested. Well, how long has it been?
Exactly. We need to have that water checked every year, at least once a year. If we have any storms in the area, which we've been having right much rain lately, or if you have a drought, or if you have a lot of snow, the weather can change the quality of your source very quickly. So yes, ma'am, it's very important to have your well source checked. And if you don't have a filter on your well source and you have hard water, it's really recommended, even if you don't have an ionizer, it's very highly recommended you get a filter for that water, for your water source, to help yourself, to help protect you and your family and your pets from any harmful chemicals that may be coming from your well source.
Right.
Well, I have to go, Miss J. I love listening to it because I learn all the time, but I just love listening to Miss J because she's such an awesome lady. Apex at 12 o'clock, Dr. Barnsley is speaking. So there's only a few of us on here, but just wanted to remind everybody. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Well, I've got to run too, but maybe it'll be worth your while to drive to Burlington to do a vendor fair when things open up at the animal shelter for a fundraiser, and you can take pets there.
I would love to. You make sure you keep me informed, okay?
I will. You be sure and come back here to 1099.
I'd love to. I sure would. Yes, ma'am. And maybe I could bring something new with me.